The largest HBCU will welcome Vice President Kamala Harris to Greensboro tomorrow. Her visit to North Carolina A&T is part of her Fight for Our Freedoms college tour.
And while on campus tomorrow, the VP will have a conversation with two alumni, them being EPA Administrator Michael Regan and actor Terrence J.
Kenny Beck joins us in studio with a look ahead at the visit. Kenny.
Will be the latest in a month-long push to get in front of young voters. The VP plans to talk about issues like abortion rights, voting rights, gun safety, climate change, and book bans. Today at another HBCU, Hampton University up in Virginia, she talked about student loan forgiveness as well. Hampton was the first stop on this tour. We asked Wake Forest political science professor Dr. John Dinan about the timing of her visit here. He said the campaign absolutely picked this time, our state, and this audience, young people, on purpose. Even though Democrats haven't had a whole lot of success here recently at the presidential level, he believes the campaign will continue to come back to the Tar Heel state because of everything that's at stake.
It's important for the Democratic National Party to invest in North Carolina, not just with an eye towards mobilizing voters for the presidential ticket, but there's also a crucial gubernatorial race and other races that will be going on.
Now, we have several teams covering the VP's trip to the Triad tomorrow. We also know Governor Cooper is scheduled to be in attendance. You can look for our coverage tomorrow morning, Friday, starting at 4:30 a.m. After A&T, the VP plans to visit about a dozen other college campuses around the country. Later this month, she's scheduled to be at Morehouse down in Atlanta. And she's not just going to HBCUs. Universities in Wisconsin, Arizona, and Nevada are also on the list. Devontae.
All right, Kenny, thank you. For the first time, the son of a sitting U.S. president has been indicted by the Justice Department.
Hunter Biden is indicted on 3 charges tonight related to a gun that he bought in 2018. Emily Schmidt reports on how the charges came about.
The 3-count indictment by the Justice Department stems from a gun Hunter Biden bought and possessed for about 11 days in 2018. The charges, according to the indictment, lying on an ATF form and to a federally licensed gun dealer by falsely swearing he wasn't using or addicted to any illegal drugs, though he was struggling with addiction to crack cocaine at the time, and illegally possessing a gun while addicted to drugs. Earlier this summer, Hunter Biden went to federal court planning for a plea deal where he would plead guilty to 2 federal tax misdemeanors, and the gun charge would eventually be dropped if Hunter Biden passed regular drug tests and stayed out of legal trouble. The deal collapsed when a judge overseeing the case questioned it. After that, Attorney General Merrick Garland elevated the U.S. attorney overseeing the probe, David Weiss, to special counsel status.
Getting Hunter Biden on the gun charge is like getting Jeffrey Dahmer on littering.
I, as a Democrat, am saying that if Hunter Biden, the president's son, committed crimes, he should be held accountable for them. You don't hear any Republican saying that if Donald Trump committed crimes, he should be held accountable for them.
President Joe Biden, speaking about the economy in Maryland today, did not address the indictment. Hunter Biden's lawyer issued a statement saying, in part, Hunter Biden possessing an unloaded gun for 11 days was not a threat to public safety, but a prosecutor with all the power imaginable bending to political pressure presents a grave threat to our system of justice. It's unclear when Hunter Biden will make his initial appearance on the charges in court. I'm Emily Schmidt reporting.
Happening now, we are less than 2 hours before thousands of members of the United Auto Workers Union could walk off the job. That would launch a series of targeted strikes if they're not able to reach an agreement with the 3 big automakers. These strikes could cost the industry billions of dollars and cause a domino effect for hundreds of suppliers in local communities. Known as the Big Three, General Motors, Ford, and Stellantis are facing ambitious demands from the United Auto Workers Union. The list includes an immediate 20% raise in hourly pay, followed by 4 additional raises of 5% over the course of 4 years. They also want retiree health care coverage and job protections.
Back in the Piedmont Triad, a man is charged with murder after a double stabbing in Winston-Salem. Ryan Rousseau is accused of fatally stabbing DeMar Singletary in an apartment complex parking lot last Friday. A second man was also stabbed but is recovering. After the attack, we're told both victims got into a car and the surviving victim hit Rousseau with a car. Police say Rousseau is still being treated for his injuries. Highway Patrol saying that troopers have caught up with the driver believed to have hit and killed a Burlington man last week in Guilford County. 24-year-old Ricky Summers was arrested yesterday, charged with felony hit and run and misdemeanor death by motor vehicle. Investigators say he fatally struck Andrew Jenkins with his pickup truck Friday morning in Gibsonville as Jenkins was walking on Highway 70. He was 40 years old.
In Burlington, police are working an afternoon shooting that sent a man to the hospital. Officers responded to Chandler Avenue near the Bodega convenience store on Ross Street. They soon learned a 37-year-old gunshot victim showed up at the hospital with a non-life-threatening injury. There's no suspect information right now.